Hello everyone, how are you doing today, this evening? My name is Michaela Valletta, also known as the Body Scientist, and I am live on my Instagram page. I will save this video and repost it to my YouTube page. Make sure you follow me in all places. In case you're unfamiliar with me, I have a background in exercise and sports science and nutrition science. That's what I did my undergraduate work in and graduate work. I am a strength and conditioning coach, a USA Olympic weightlifting coach. I'm a sports nutritionist, and I'm a sacred sexual educator as well. I'm a dancer. I've committed my life to studying, and also a doula. I've committed my life to studying all the ways that we can bring our body to its highest level, right? So a lot of people say that they're a holistic health coach. You know, I say holistic health coach. Whatever that is, I don't know what that is, right? I don't know what their background, their training is. But I can say that my approach to the performance of the body, the high-level performance of the body, is holistic, okay? So nutrition plays a huge role. What you do with your body physically, like the type of workouts and what you engage in, plays a big role, as does your sexuality and your sexual energy and the air that you're breathing, what you're putting on your skin. All of that plays a role when it comes to your health holistically, right? And so I said that I was a sacred sexual educator, and what that is really is, you know, for me, I do have a scientific background, okay? So for those of you who don't know, I have a background. First, I was a biotechnology major, so I was like taking all the heavy science classes. Then I switched to exercise and sports science, nutrition science, more science. I'm a science nerd. I've been a science nerd since the 90s. So I understand the place and the purpose of Western science, okay? However, I'm going to say that I've always said, and I did a video about this recently, that Western science doesn't confirm anything that indigenous people didn't already know. So I also look at ancient practices. As a dancer, dance taught me that, especially as a student of dances of the African diaspora. The dances that I study, a lot of Afro-Haitian, Afro-Cuban, Afro-Brazilian, Afro-Colombian, I said Brazil, right? DR, Puerto Rico, Afro-American, you know, black in the Congo. But it's mostly black dances in the Americas and the Congo, right? And there's a reason for that. I won't get too much in depth with it, but I will say that black dances taught me a lot when it comes to sacred sexuality. So a lot of times people think of Tantra with sacred sexuality, right? My introduction to it was with Taoism. And basically the ancient Taoists, you know, they, for thousands of years, studied the effects of sexual actions, okay? Sexual actions and its effect on our health and our chi, our life force, right? And so I won't get too deep into that in this video. But what I will say is that every culture around the world had some type of sacred sexual practice or a way of cultivating sexual energy, and also acknowledging the fact that a decreased sex drive in men or women can be a sign of bigger health issues, okay? And it's not just a decreased sex drive, it's other things. A woman could be having wetness issues. A man could be having erection issues or other things going on, right? So in this video, I want to talk about my class for men, okay? Because I've worked with men and women for years, okay? I started working with men first with a technique called Kundalini strength training. It's a class I developed back in like 2005, okay? And then I started working with women in 2007 with a class called sensual strength training. And for years, I was known for my sensual strength training class because I taught my women's class more, because I felt like, you know, it would be understood more because I'm a woman. But really, I understand it from both perspectives. Both men and women, okay, need to strengthen the muscles around their sexual organs, but you want to strengthen the muscles all over your body, okay, big and small. You don't want to just work your legs or just work your back or just work your chest or just work your core. You want to work all the muscles from the inside to the outside. And the muscles that surround our sexual organs are very important. So part of the class, okay, so I have a women's class and a men's class. This is going to be focused on the men's class, but I'm going to briefly explain. So both classes are focused on giving exercises to help strengthen the muscles around your sexual organs. With women, crystal eggs are used, eggs called nani eggs. Some people know them as yoni eggs. I call them nani eggs or jade eggs. Women work with those internally to get control and strength of their vaginal muscles and pelvic floor. men have exercises that they do that are different, okay, because the anatomy is different. Then the other portion of the class is learning why it's important to strength train, period, and how to do it properly, okay? How to strengthen your back, your chest, your legs, your shoulders. The best exercises, why it's important, and how to do it properly. Because a lot of people lift weights incorrectly, especially men. When I'm in the gym, most of the men that I see are lifting weights wrong. And even if they have big, huge muscles, if you're throwing weight around with bad technique, you could injure your spine, you could injure your shoulders, you could injure your knees. And strength training is not a contact sport, okay? You should never injure yourself when you're lifting weights. If you injure yourself when you're lifting weights, that means that you're lifting something that's too heavy or you have bad technique, okay? Remember, I told you my degrees in exercise and sports science. Sports is inherently dangerous, okay? So that's one of the differences between exercise science and sports science. It might sound like it's the same, but it's not. Sports science is more geared towards sports performance, right? And when people play certain sports, there's inherent risk in certain sports. Like if you're a ski jumper and you want to jump off this cliff, you might break your neck, you might break your hip. That's just the danger that comes with it. And you know that and you want to do that, okay, but I'll still train you to be the best that you can, but you have those inherent risks. And there's certain things in sports that's just not good for you. Like if you're a boxer and you're getting hit in the head, that's not good for you. But you might know that about your sport and you're willing to do that, right? With exercise science, exercise is supposed to be safe and effective. You should never get injured when you're exercising, okay? It's different. It's a different approach. So that's the second portion, because like with women, well, there are men and women who think that strength training isn't important. They think, I ride my bike, or I do yoga, or I do this, I don't need to lift weights, or I do calisthenics, which is what a lot of men say. No, strength training is important, okay? You can do calisthenics and all that, but putting an outside load, okay, on your body that you have to overcome that force activates more muscles, more muscle fibers, okay? And so also as you age, okay, after the age of 30, you're losing like 2% of your muscle every year. Now, how much of your muscle you lose depends on what you did before 30 and what you do after 30. And really, according to the textbook, it's 25. You're in a state of decline. Now, how quickly that declines depends on what you did before that and what you did after that. But it's important to maintain your muscle. For the women who want to keep a nice shape, you need to maintain your muscle. For the men who also want to keep a nice shape and keep their testosterone up and their erections, you need to build muscle. If you want to prevent having knee problems as you age and back problems and this problem and you can't do this, you need to strength train. Strength training is critically important. I have a YouTube video about why strength training is important. It's a video I recorded like 4 years ago, but it's on my YouTube page at Body Scientist 81. I'll try to post it below so I don't get into a whole lecture about it, but that's the other portion of the course, right? And then the third is using dances of the African diaspora that involve hip movements to get, okay, I'm going back and forth between the women and the men. For the women, to get them to connect to their hips, to shake out trauma. We store trauma in our bodies, period, but we definitely store them in our hips, especially women in our wombs. And it's important for women to have flexibility here for childbirth, but also sexually. People want to talk about moving Kundalini energy. People do Kundalini yoga. They're doing Kundalini yoga in a stagnant position, right? To me, I believe my Kundalini yoga is Haitian folkloric dance, okay? My Kundalini yoga is Congolese, traditional Congolese dance. It involves a lot of deep activation of the hips, okay? And for the men, it's also important for the men to move their hips. Most of our blood supply runs through our hips. All of the countries where women move their hips a lot, so do the men, okay? It's just that the women may be put on display a little bit more because women are just beautiful to look at, but men do it too, okay? So it's also important for men to have flexibility in hips, to move the hips. And when it comes to, it's not just about sexually pleasing your partner, it's just about your own health first, right? But even sexually, women should move their hips and men should move their hips. And what does that do? That helps to stir up more sexual energy. And it's just a fact that orgasm affects our hormones. I'll do another video about that later, about go more into the nerdy benefits of, the hormonal stuff that happens from orgasms, and I can get more into that. Definitely follow me on my page, The Body Scientist, for that video. But there's just so much science behind it. It's like, even if somebody is not having good sex in their life, they usually have an attitude, they're miserable. There's studies on both sides for men and women like that. So a part of, performing at your highest level and a part of being at your healthiest is also having a healthy sexuality and a good sex life. And so you don't want, as a man, you don't want to have prostate problems. There's a lot of men with prostate issues, younger and younger. You know, you don't want to have erection issues. You don't want to have these issues because it can mess up your quality of life, but it's also a sign. A lot of times when men have erection issues, they might be diabetic. They might be hypertensive. They get put on medications for these things. Those medications cause those issues too. And so does high cholesterol medication, which nobody should be on, right? And so those are the three main components of the course, and then also nutrition, right? So I'm relaunching my men's class, right? And the men's class has always been taught differently than the women's class. The women's class is always like a group of women in person. Women tend to vibe well together. Women will talk about all their problems in front of each other. I am working on an online version of the women's class, but to me, women are better in groups and together, right? Men are not the type to come together in a group for this type of thing. Men's exercises are more external, so a little bit of a different approach. And men definitely aren't going to sit in a room full of men and talk about the issues that they may be having, you know, with their sexual organs. So, or the reproductive health or whatever, right? So, in this course, it's going to be online. It's going to consist of 20 classes, okay? It's going to consist of courses to teach men how to work out properly in the gym, because a lot of men think they know, but they don't, and you don't want to injure yourself, okay? You want to get the most efficient, the efficiency out of your workout. You want to get stronger. You want to increase your testosterone. Those are, so part of it will have classes with that. There will be classes for the men to do exercises for the smaller muscles that surround their sexual organs. And also, there will be classes that will be centered around getting the hips moving. And also, there will be courses with classes that are dealing with crystals that are good to work with. And also, nutrition, okay? And because nutrition is very important. As an exercise physiologist and a nutrition scientist, a holistic nutritionist, I know that they're both important. Some people try to say nutrition is more important. Some people try to say fitness is more important. No, they are equally important, okay? If you don't, and you don't have to wait until you have issues to do something about it. You know, when I learned about 90 eggs back in 2004, I started working with it immediately. I didn't have any problems, but I just thought, like, I knew about muscles and controlling muscles. As a dancer, I understand how it's important to have control over the muscles. I thought, and I'm all about prevention. Strength training is prevention. How do you, because things come in life that will put stress on your body. You don't want to fall apart. There are a lot of women who get older, they get vaginal atrophy. They start drying out. Like, if you don't use it, you lose it. And that's with all the muscles and all the parts of your body. Right? So, it will be 20 videos. The course, hold on a minute. It's going to be launched, hold on, I had the date in my head. I need to look at my calendar. This month in August, hold on a minute, let me tell you exactly. Sorry, I should have that. I got too much going on. Okay. It will be launched on August 26th, okay, which is 2 Fridays from now. But you can pre-register if you would like. For the first 3 men that sign up for the class is $300. Already one of those spots are taken, so there's 2 more spots. And then after that, the price will go up, okay? You can join at any time. And so right now everything is being set up so that it will be on a site. The site is being worked on right now, but I'm pre-registering. If anybody wants to pre-register, just message me. But in this course, there will also be some one-on-one guidance with me when it comes to, what you're eating and stuff like that. So that's basically what the course consists of. Understanding why it's important to strength train as you age, how to do it correctly, okay? Why and the food goes hand in hand with keeping your testosterone levels up, okay? It's really important to eat a lot of cholesterol. The older we get, okay? I know that a lot of people think that cholesterol is bad and causes heart attacks. I'm telling you that's not true. All of our sex hormones, and all of our stress hormones are made from cholesterol. Testosterone is a sex hormone. It's made from cholesterol. Anybody on a low cholesterol diet can end up with hormonal issues, which is why men who take cholesterol lowering medications end up with erection problems a lot of times, okay? So also vitamin D is made from cholesterol. We need it for our brain to fire correctly, okay? And so a lot of people just think they're good nutrition. Oh, eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. No, it's way more than that, okay? So really going to dive deep into these things. Also, getting men, a lot of times men, depending on the culture you come from, you think dancing is a woman's thing. Nope. Men need to move their hips too. You need to have fluidity in your hips too, just to move that sexual energy, to get the blood flow moving, because our major arteries run through our hips. And also, it's important sexually, like just across the board, you know. And then lastly, exercises to help strengthen the muscles that support your sexual organs. All of this can help prevent prostate issues, which a lot of men have as they age, which is devastating. And just knowing how to measure certain things, how to design your programs. Also, another thing I forgot is herbs. Herbs that are good for men and sexual health. Not just with erections and all of that, but also with your sexual health, period. Okay, men and women have work to do when it comes to sexual health. All right, I have several videos about that. I will try to post them below on my YouTube channel. So it's $300 for the first 3 men. There's 2 spots left. After that, it goes up. There's 20 classes, 20 video classes. If you would like to message me about it, I'll put my email address below. Makeda@AmazoniaBodyScience.com. Okay, AmazoniaBodyScience.com will be up before the month is out. I know a lot of people have been hearing me talk about websites for a while, but I have people on it right now. So Makeda@AmazoniaBodyScience.com. I will put it below. If you're on YouTube and you don't follow me on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram at @the_body_scientist. And if you're on Instagram, please follow me on YouTube at TheBodyScientist81. I am going to post this on both of I have another Instagram and YouTube. I'm going to post it in both places. Make sure you follow me in all places. And I will post on my YouTube page, I'll post the other videos I have on this topic below. So if you care to look at it, you can take a look at it. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourselves, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.